There goes Tommy. Bye, Tommy. Love you, buddy.
Love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great time with you. We're going to miss you when you're gone. There he goes. Merry Christmas, Tommy. There he goes. The great Tommy Olsen, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Lieber's still over there. Parker Fox. Hi, Parker Fox.
Good morning.
How you feeling? You sore?
Oh, yeah.
The audio coach said he ran you guys kind of ragged yesterday.
He did. Yeah, he did. We kind of, we got beat up a little bit at Indiana, and I think we had a tough film session. And then right after that, we got to work. It was a long one. I think he got there about 12:30 yesterday and probably walked out at about 6:30. So It was a long day. The low back's a little sore. The legs are a little sore. So today is a much needed off day. But, me and Hockey were talking back there, and it's like, is it embarrassing? Is the film session's embarrassing? Yeah, but the embarrassing thing is going and getting beat up by somebody. So it's like you got to try to avoid that. So there's nothing worse, as you know, Ben, going into somewhere and kind of getting beat up and not really having an answer, not really having a response. So I think that's something we need to kind of learn. So I think that was good for us. Yesterday was tough, but I think that'll mold us. It'll make us better.
I'm always curious, like how I would respond or what I would put my team through if I were a head coach in some of those situations, because we all grew up, and I think obviously you're still going through it, where conditioning is like a punishment, and sometimes, and I didn't watch your guys' game, so I'm not familiar with how it all went down, but sometimes when you're playing a game, you're just outgunned, right? You know that the other team is just more talented than you are, and you get beat, and it might be embarrassing. So to take it out on the kids and the players and be like, we're going to run you with, in a football sense, we're going to do, full gassers, and we're going to be doing this after a hard practice. It's like we could be the best conditioned team in America, and if we play that team again, we're still getting beat.
Yeah.
So what am I doing here? How am I going to win this team over? It's very interesting because obviously I've never been in that position to be a head coach, but we even think about it in youth football, and like we suffer a bad loss, and we're like, man, we got to make these kids run a little bit. Like, do we? I know that is that the answer, or the fact that we don't focus any practice time on defense because it's all about the offense? Maybe we should think about that.
Ben, it's a great point. And maybe, by the way, let me an aside. You guys have like a long break now before your next game, right, Parker?
Yeah, we don't play for 9 more days.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there you go. So that's part of the reason too, right? I mean, get a little good conditioning in and stuff like that.
For sure, yeah.
But one thing that sticks in my mind, Ben, is as a freshman, we had 2 players. This tells you how old I am. 2 players, seniors, got suspended from the team because they were eating sugar cubes before the game. And I know that sounds ridiculous.
Were they centaurs?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I remember they got suspended because the coach found out they were doing it, and the AD's reasoning was that they were using it as a performance enhancement. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's the truth, okay? Regardless, doesn't matter. I had to start as a freshman at linebacker. Mm-hmm. And I played as badly as you would expect a 145-pound freshman to play in a varsity football game, right? And Monday, after the game, he lined me up in the middle of the circle, and we did the hamburger drill. Yeah. In his words, coach's words, and I loved my coach. I still love him today. In his words, to teach me how to be tough. They beat the hell out of me, and I learned nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Right. And I have thought about that. That's like, if I think about my high school coach, I think a lot of wonderful things, but that was a punishment that I didn't deserve.
Yeah.
And I learned nothing from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because, psychologically, you kind of understand what your coach is thinking. Like, it's a physical sport, and if he feels like you didn't play physically up to what the standard was for the varsity players, I can understand how you would want to get it through a player's head that, like, listen, man, like, this game is physical. You have to learn, like, developing physicality is a skill. And a skill, just like anything else, has to be sharpened, has to be practiced, has to be repped. So I do understand that. But at the same time, if he's looking at it clearly, you're a freshman, undersized, given if I'm looking, I'm like, if this kid's giving the effort, well, all the other stuff will develop.
Yeah.
So if you're giving the effort and you just physically can't handle the rigors of a varsity football game, you shouldn't be punished for that, especially in a demeaning way like that.
And again, I mean, think about, I can remember because I was 145 pounds. I was a freshman. And you know the difference between a 14, 15-year-old and an 18, 19-year-old is pretty damn big.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I got whooped. Just terrible. But anyway, so that's neither here nor there. You just had
time. Well, not only times are different, but
dude,
there are just some bad coaches out there with personalities and approaches that I wouldn't even want to be friends with them off the field. And then they're out there leading these young men and trying to develop them and psychologically probably harming them.
He used to withhold water if he didn't think we were practicing hard enough.
Yeah, that's an old school trick.
Imagine that.
Right.
That's
so crazy.
Holy crap.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff canceled from I don't think you can do punishments even anymore. Like, I think punishments are gone. You can't, like, if somebody messes up, you can't make them go run to the fence and back. Like, I think that's done,
really?
like, rules wise.
I hate
they got rid of our scale in our weight room because we're not allowed to, like, weigh ourselves.
No.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Crazy.
Wow.
We can still do it in other resources, but, like, our weight room doesn't have a scale anymore. So it's like the difference in the changes that have been made over the last, whatever years.
Really?
Yeah.
Psychologically, though, like, was somebody going over and, like, making people weigh themselves in front of the team in a demeaning way?
Not that I'm aware of. And we share the weight room with a couple other teams, so it could have been a different, sport.
Oh, yeah,
but,
okay, got it.
that makes more sense.
I don't think it was really dealing with our team because I think as a basketball team, you kind of want to know what you weigh and make sure you're,
that's an interesting cancellation.
I was like, every day I walk into that weight room for 3 straight years, 3.5 years, and I take the right and I go weigh myself. And then the last couple of weeks, it has not been there. So
that
Parker,
seems like.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you do it.
I was just going to say that seems like an overcorrection. One of those things that whoever came up with the idea that sounded really good in their head, but then the practicality of it is like, this makes zero sense. Like, I'm sure they had good intentions, but in reality, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Now they can't put it back because they don't want to look like it failed.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
If you weigh yourself, that I maybe don't do it that often, but if you ever weighed yourself before and after a game,
I have.
What's the weight loss?
Yeah, I usually lose like 5-6 pounds, and I think that's pretty normal. I remember Paulo Banchero, who now plays for the Magic. He had a bunch of those cramping issues at Duke, and they said he lost like 10 plus pounds a game just off water weight. And it's like that's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like training camp, maybe 10, 12 pounds between practices.
Well, yeah, and you have so much water. As long as you're like you're really focusing on getting your water in every single day, like you're gonna lose a lot of water weight just from sweating and all the sodium you burn and all that. But yeah, I think it's actually insane. And for me, a guy that like I'm super high metabolism, like I can eat anything and barely gain weight. Like I really don't move, Yeah, sorry, sauce. I don't fluctuate too much.
What a flex!
Wow.
Well, I mean, you're 18 feet tall.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, this is not Vikings news, even though it's brought to you by Raccoon's Vikings News. But I read this stat yesterday, and I saved it specifically for today. This seems impossible, and we can look it up if you want. A 7-foot tall man in the United States has a 1 in 7 shot of making it to the NBA.
Holy, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's pretty high odds.
Are they that? What's the word I'm looking for? Rare? Is a 7-foot man that rare in the United States?
You
How
do
tall are
see
you,
a tall.
Parker?
I'm only 6'8".
Okay.
So
yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of them. Even when you're like, you go through a Big Ten schedule, there's probably only
my God, Tommy,
like 7 to 8 of them. I don't even want to know what he texted you, but yeah, there's not too many. There was a 7'9" kid on Florida that we saw when we were down in Orlando.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's the tallest teenager in the world, like
7'9"?
ever.
Yeah. I saw a video on this guy.
Yeah, Olivier Rioux.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did hear about him. I just
7'9".
Googled it real quick, and it says that there are likely no more than 70 men in the United States between ages 20 and 40 who are at least 7 feet tall.
70
only 70. 0.000038% of the population.
Yeah, it is rare. I guess for me, I think it's less rare because I see them, every once in a while.
Yeah.
They play in basketball. But like now that I think about it, like you're not ever in public and you see a 7-footer
Yeah, you're
around,
right.
like very rarely.
And when you're 5'6", everybody looks 7 foot
Yeah,
tall.
that's true.
This guy, how'd you say his last name? Rioux?
Olivier Rioux. Yeah, I think
Rioux.
it's Rioux or something
I'm reading
like that.
about him. He can dunk the basketball without his feet leaving the ground.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think he plays much for Florida because they're a pretty good team and he's a freshman. But like 7'9" to have
Gosh,
you
look
go
at this
in.
kid.
He's
Look at the pictures of that guy.
gigantic, dude.
Yeah, he's huge. I walked by him and just like looked up and I was like, holy cow. And he's like 18 or 19 or
Is he
something
athletic
like
or is
that.
he like?
I'm sure you
developing
can't
it?
be
Yeah,
super
right.
athletic at 7'9",
Yeah.
but you don't have to be. You could dunk without jumping.
Yeah.
Great point.
You don't even have to be good at basketball. You just got to stand there.
Stand
You're at
there
least going to
block
get free
shot.
college.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Interesting. But anyway, Vikings news brought to you by Radco. Sam Darnold spoke with the press yesterday, and believe it or not, he likes having all those receivers.
I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. I think for me, it's also understanding, okay, when did they take it away? Really having clarity in that. I think that's the biggest thing for me as a quarterback is understanding, okay, when is it there? When is it not there? Should I check it down? So I think for me, just having clarity in those moments to where I don't necessarily feel comfortable cutting it loose to either Jay, Jets, Speedy, any of those guys, and being able to get it down to, our backs or tight ends that are usually in that flat area.
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what else there is to comment on. I mean,
Okay.
it's I was actually looking at other quarterback contracts because I figured the conversation would end up going there. Yeah, who wouldn't want those receivers and those weapons? I mean, that's the thing. That is part of the equation in which the great debate this whole week is going to is whether or not we sign Sam Darnold back. That's part of the equation is like all the talent that he has around. When he entered the season, that was part of the conversation of, well, he could have a resurgence in his career and he could redevelop himself because of all the players that he just named. I mean, maybe Naylor, we didn't know much about going into the season, how much of an impact, but even just having the two top wide receivers, having Hawkinson when he comes back, when he was healthy, and then having the addition of Aaron Jones, it was, there was a lot of every quarterback, plus with KOC being there and everything, like this is a premier destination for any quarterback, which again goes back into my argument that we should probably let him go and just let this be JJ's team.
Do you think Ben Johnson, the number one coaching candidate, could see himself and Sam Darnold teaming up together? And I say that because, like, the Jets, I mean, I know we'd go back to where it was kind of a failure, but that's a loaded team.
Yeah,
that
the defense is good.
Right. Even the offensive weapons are good. And, you team up with him. Is that something do you think Ben Johnson has in the back of his mind?
I mean, very possible. I don't see why you wouldn't, develop a guy that plays a very similar style, can do all the things that Jared Goff can do. And I think he's got a bigger arm than Jared Goff. Yeah. So maybe you could be a little bit more dynamic with the passing game. My thing I certainly don't know Sam. I don't, it's not like we hang out after the games or outside of the games. But what I pick up on and the things that he's said, I don't think that he'd want to go back to the Jets. I think that at this point in his career, he's made a lot of money. I think he wants to go where it doesn't feel toxic.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to take a look at his pit stop here, outside of the X's and O's, it sounds like he's redeveloped a love of football again.
Yeah.
And football's become fun again. And going back into the fishbowl that is the New York market.
Good point.
Going back to the team that he feels like he failed at, whether it's a new head coach and a new, quote unquote, fresh start, I just don't think personality wise he wants that in his life right now. I could see him going to LA if LA decides to move on and they want to get younger at that position, even though Stafford, just like he did last year, is picking up his play and looking really, really good. And
he's very good.
These last few games, it's just that he has a monster contract. Monster contract. And, they might want to get cheaper on the books. Going to a place like New Orleans, do they want to shed, Derek Carr's contract, which is a very similar contract that he could get. He could get a very much like a Derek Carr type of contract, and he would deserve that. I just think when it's all said and done, when he decides to choose a team, which I think he'll have lots of choices, I think he's going to go somewhere. Obviously, there's a very similar system, a very similar demeanor with the head coach / offensive coordinator, in some place that doesn't feel toxic to him.
Yeah, it's going to be a super interesting offseason because the Sam argument will continue, but also the other argument is most of their secondary is on 1-year contracts. So, like, they need to figure that out. There's some offensive linemen they need. Like, this isn't their only need, right? This is a very good season with a very good group of players.
Right.
But this exact group will most likely not be back next year. So,
And you like the kid enough to draft him in the first round.
oh, and that's the other thing too.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
The argument can go both ways, but like,
I feel like you're talking yourself onto my side.
But also,
though, when they picked up Sam, they did not think this is what would happen.
No.
yes, they did.
Not in their wildest dreams, right? They thought this would be a 4 or 5 game bit. We'll get JJ ready, and then we'll give it to JJ, and he'll never give the job up. They didn't think this. This
Correct.
is such a weird atmosphere that they're about to be in.
Yes, and I know that we're going to go to break, but here's the other thing I think is wild for us as Vikings fans. I don't know who really started this conversation, but it's just like us Vikings fans to be 11-2.
I know.
And all we can talk about and debate and get pissed off and angry about is because people will not agree with you or whatever, of whether or not we're going to keep Sam Darnold this year or let him go and let this be JJ's team. That's like literally Vikings fans. That's what you want to talk about right now. Like there's 1,000 other directions that we could talk about with this team that are positive. They could be, we could prognosticate about, what we got to improve on to be a playoff pusher and like really contend for a Super Bowl. We can have fun talking about that stuff. But here we are debating about Sam Darnold on an 11-2 team.
This is the best team they've had since 2009.
Oh, yeah.
It is interesting.
But yet we got to nitpick at this thing that like
Yeah.
We're so used to the sky falling that even when it's not falling, we still have the umbrellas up.
But I think it's funny even in a different angle because most of the time when you hear somebody debate it, they go, if he takes us to the Super Bowl and we win it, and you're like, hold on, brother.
Yeah. And they got a good shot, though, man. They really
I love
do.
the idea of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited. But let's cart before the horse a little bit.
Whatever, if they get the 5th seed and they play Tampa or Atlanta,
Yep.
They'll win by 10.
As David Letterman once said, enjoy the season.
David Letterman?
I don't know. I couldn't remember who said it.
I think it was Dennis Green.
Whatever, who cares? I think.
The Fan.
What a story, Mark. Anyway, how is your sex life?
Welcome back, Power Trip Morning Show. Do we know where Hogs went?
You leave us?
He had to lay down the law in the bathroom real quick.
Oh, really? Yeah.
it might be a while.
Well,
We'll get him back next segment.
Yeah, right.
yeah. We can do sports. We can continue with non-football stuff, Max, if you want to play the bit. We'll wait. Oh, here he is. Did he get pizza? Did you make a pizza?
7th Ave?
Yeah, did you make a 7th Ave pizza?
Of course.
Lucky.
I'm playing a little guitar. Sorry.
Yeah, is this you? Mm-hmm. Wow. You're really good at it.
You want to teach me, Sauce?
How to play guitar?
Yeah.
I don't know how to play.
I'll go to Hawk then.
Yeah, have Hawk do it.
3
Have
chords
Hawk
and the
steady.
truth, baby.
I just
Yeah.
need a couple chords to strum.
Yeah, you'll be playing Beatles music before I'm done with you. It'll be fun.
Perfect. Sign me up.
Do you know any Beatles songs at all?
Probably if I heard one.
You would know.
I would know if
Can
I
you
hear
name all the Beatles?
Ringo.
That's the hard one.
I think that's where I about where I am.
Super funny. It's only Ringo.
Is that bad?
No,
Give me another
funny.
name.
Paul.
Okay, yeah, I know that, but I wouldn't know the
Last name?
Yeah, Paul McCartney. I know Paul McCartney.
There we go.
John Adams. I don't know. My mom's gonna listen to this back and be like, "You don't know the Beatles?"
That's just super funny that Ringo is the only one.
Yeah, that is
Is that
weird.
the hardest one? Why do I
Yeah,
know?
he's like the least popular one.
Why do I know
Meat
that one
sauce in
then?
the
Yeah,
Beatles.
he's somewhat. He just had a tear fall from his eye somewhere in the
Yeah.
world, and he has no idea why.
Right.
Yeah, well, he was the drummer, but Ringo's a pretty interesting name. That's
That's
Yeah.
probably why, because it's
Yeah.
such a unique name. Who else is there?
John, Paul,
George.
George, and Ringo. George Harrison,
Okay.
John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and Ringo Starr.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, they got
Probably better next time.
You're only 32, you know?
See, I think Harrison is the hardest one for me to remember.
Yeah.
This is a very basic name.
It's a very basic name, and because to your point, Hawk, Ringo's Ringo, like Ringo's like Cher, and
many
like
Ringos,
Madonna,
right.
like you just know the one name.
So Paul Mescal, who just hosted Saturday Night Live, who was also in Gladiator 2, it's been leaked that he's going to play Paul McCartney in a Beatles biopic that's being done.
Yep. And Barry Keoghan is going to be, I believe he's going to be John Lennon.
That's a perfect casting. I didn't know that part. That's great.
That'll be great.
I believe they're doing each individual Beatle is getting their own movie and then kind of like an Avengers situation where they get
like a Beatles universe.
Yeah, basically like at the post-credit scene, they'll all come together and defeat the evil forces. But I think they're going to do 4 individual ones and then an actual band movie.
Sweet,
man, pretty cool. I mean, why not, right? Like,
why not?
Nobody's ever changed music the way the Beatles did. It's just the most incredible thing. Doesn't matter who you're talking about. The popularity. They were pop stars. It's just the craziest thing, and they didn't exist. Anyway, so that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. They're going to redo the movie American Psycho.
Yeah, who got
mistake.
cast for that?
Austin Butler, the kid who played Elvis.
I like that guy.
He's a really good actor. He was great in Dune too.
That film's incredible.
You can't touch a movie like that.
Yeah, that's a masterpiece.
You think so, really?
Yeah.
I just think it's...
I think it's good. I don't think it's a masterpiece.
But I do think that Christian Bale had a virtuoso performance, and it's really hard to recreate that. Like, some people might not think Scarface is a masterpiece, but you can't have somebody else be Tony Montana.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There you go. I know, Ben, you're excited because Ben's coming over tonight. I don't know if you guys told you this. But
wow.
Ben and I are having a watch party for Red One on Amazon.
My God.
Is that The Rock?
The Rock, yeah. Don't act like you don't know.
My 10-year-old wants to see it so badly.
Of course, it's going to be great. The Rock teams up with a bounty hunter.
That's good.
From the Naughty List, which is Chris Evans, and they're rescuing Santa, played by J.K. Simmons, after he's kidnapped from the North Pole. It's the perfect vehicle for The Rock.
Like a rock.
Tonight on Amazon, watch party, my house. Just Ben and I.
Was that ever in theaters?
It was.
I believe The Rock had it in IMAX or was trying to get it in IMAX.
Yeah, and he was mad because of was it Wicked?
I think it was Wicked or something. It was another movie that or maybe it was Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
He's not kidding, though. That is the only reason I haven't seen this movie in a theater, because I've seen Wicked twice and Gladiator once, and I wish I had never seen Gladiator, but this is my kind of movie.
Yeah, it is.
Are you kidding me?
How about this, Maxo? Craven the Hunter reviews are out.
From what I hear, not good.
Have you seen what the Rotten Tomato score is?
I have not.
I did see it.
14.
It was even lower originally. It was
I really
9.
don't know what it is.
Hold
honestly,
on.
if I'm being, I have no idea what it is.
Let me see if I can find the review I read this morning at like 3:45. Hang on.
It was when I saw it when it first came out. The Rotten Tomato score was lower than Madam Web, which has basically become the punchline for a bad movie.
This is
point.
from Dan Murrell, a certified reviewer on this website. Craven the Hunter is a very, very, very bad movie. That's the review.
that guy had a dinner meeting.
I
man.
love that.
Did you see the guy?
Very, very, very bad movie.
Did you see the guy on Twitter saw us that tweeted and is like about to go watch Craven the Hunter, and then he quote tweeted it like 2 hours later and just said, "Man, what the f?"
It looks what.
It looks terrible.
Looks so
It looks
bad.
awful.
I don't even know who is it. What is
Russell
it?
Crowe.
He's supposed to be Craven the Hunter is a Spider-Man villain that is basically in the Spider-Man universe. He has like a reality show where he hunts all the big game, and then eventually he learns about Spider-Man and he wants to go hunt Spider-Man. But in this weird Sony universe that is Spider-Man list, none of these stories make any sense because there is there's no end game of getting to Spider-Man or having these characters interact with Spider-Man.
The Marvel universe wouldn't be dumped on if the Sony versions didn't exist.
They all are completely worthless.
Aren't the Venoms bad?
They're really bad. They look like masterpieces compared to Madam Web and Craven the Hunter.
The weird thing is that concept you just described to me sounds pretty awesome.
Right, but without Spider-Man, it makes no sense.
A hunter who decides he's going to hunt the greatest prey, which is Spider-Man. That makes great sense.
And
to
in
me.
the comics, he actually succeeds and kills him and becomes Spider-Man.
Spoiler alert!
This looks so bad.
It looks so bad.
He becomes Spider-Man after he kills Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
No thanks.
I think so. Yeah, I guess you get to. If you kill Spider-Man, you can be Spider-Man.
Did you also see the story, Maxo, that Robert Downey Jr. is getting $80 million plus to play Doctor Doom, and he's private plane anywhere he goes and all that?
They had to back up the Brinks part for it.
Am I the only one? Ben, Parker, please feel free to jump in. You can't not be Iron Man.
I think
in the same universe. Is it the same? Isn't it the same universe?
Well, it's going to be interesting how they play it, because if we see his face, I mean, Doctor Doom is like the part of his bit is that he wears the mask because his face is so disfigured. So I don't know how they're going to play it, because if they play it with Robert Downey Jr., I mean, he's a movie star. You would like to think that he's going to have his face in it. So it's going to be really weird if none of the characters go, "Hey, isn't that freaking Tony Stark there?"
But if you said that his face is disfigured.
But if his face is disfigured, or they'd never take off the mask,
right?
Okay,
then they can play it that way.
Okay.
But they could also do the bit where it's like, this is an alternate universe Tony
Which would
Stark
piss me off.
who became Doctor Doom.
I hate all these alternate
I
universes.
hate that.
I just stop.
I can't keep track of all that junk.
The Avengers films are A+. Oh, they're so good.
They're so good. Endgame, seeing Endgame and Infinity War in the theater the first time it was an event.
Endgame is one of the best theatrical experiences I've ever had. And I know that's nerdy to say, but the circle bit.
It's the best when everybody shows up.
Yeah.
And everybody in the theater
Tommy.
is super stoked to see it.
So good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And the first one, you see Thanos just beat the hell out of the Hulk. You're like, what's going on?
It's sweet.
Who is this guy?
Last thing, I promise. And this is for you. And I wonder, Parker, if you were a fan, because it's right up your alley as well. Did you guys see they're doing a documentary on Jerry Springer?
I can't wait.
I cannot wait to see that.
Can you imagine?
It's all I've ever wanted in life. It's all I've ever wanted.
It's a series, by the way, a 2-part documentary series on Jerry Springer called Fights, Camera, Action.
Brilliant.
I
It's
can't
Netflix,
wait.
January 7th. I know.
I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer. I'm like, I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It's going to be all
And I'm so fortunate. We are so fortunate. Maybe, I mean, not Maxo, because, you're a young cat. But to grow up in that era.
Oh, no, I watched Jerry
You went and saw it.
I went and saw Maury live.
You did?
That was my very first vacation in life. Me and a bunch of my friends, we bought Megabus tickets to Chicago.
Oh my God.
From Chicago to New York. We rode the Megabus for 30 hours full of edibles and Hennessy. And we went and saw Maury because the tickets are free. And I remember looking up his age one day because me and my friends were just stoned watching Maury, as we do. I still make people watch Jerry Springer when they come over to my house to this day. And they said free tickets. And I looked at Maury and I'm like, dude, he's 77. We got to go see him right now. He's not going to be around forever. And then we got the free tickets, got on the bus, and went and saw Maury. No, I love that. That is my childhood, as weird as that is to say.
That is so weird.
That's what my family watched together was Maury and Jerry Springer. We got to see 3 episodes.
What you just did, you said you did, voluntarily was worse than any charge challenge punishment.
Right.
You rode the Megabus for 30 hours.
For 30 hours.
Drunk
People were
off Hennessy.
banging on there. People were smoking on there. It was a hell of an adventure.
I don't even know what the Megabus is.
Oh, dude, it's a bootleg Greyhound essentially.
Maybe that's next year's challenge. Is that you guys, whoever loses, has to take a bus to go watch The View.
Dude,
Corey, you have to be in a live audience to watch The View, and you can't put earplugs in.
Just lay me in front of the bus.
Anyway, there you go. So Jerry Springer, Fights, Camera, Action.
That's such a good
January
tagline.
7th.
I just watched an all-time episode the other day. This guy, his girlfriend, he was cheating on his girlfriend with her best friend. So they came out and fought. And then they're like, there's a third woman. And she came out and fought everybody. And then at the end, Jerry goes, so which one do you want? He's like, none of them, Jerry. I'm gay.
That's the best.
Isn't
awesome.
It was amazing.
Isn't it like wrestling, if you know what I mean?
I think Jerry has always said that they tried to vet people, but I think it's like, have you ever seen that video on Twitter of the security guard guy that like barely pats people down? I think they attempted, quote unquote, to vet people. And sometimes, like, you can see by people's reactions just as a human, that's real. Like, there's a guy who was just like shaking and crying. I'm like, that's real. But then there's other times where it's like, okay, this is obviously.
Yeah, because I know somebody who faked their way on to a one of those talk shows.
Oh, sure.
Came up with a story and they went and they faked the whole thing. Yeah.
I've heard stories about people saying, like their whole neighborhood would just make up stories to get on there. But then there's other times where it's real. And even if it is real, they were backstage. Jerry did always say they encouraged them to fight 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, was the Cash Me Outside girl, was that Springer?
That was
Dr. Phil.
That was Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
That girl.
She's doing great too right now.
Yeah, she is.
Is she really?
I think she's
yeah.
like, who is she dating, Max? Is she like with NBA YoungBoy now or
I think
something
she
like
is.
that?
Well, and she when she
Yeah.
turned, it's so weird. When she turned 18, man, like dudes were all I think she made
yeah. They
over $1
didn't
million
wait till she
on
was 18.
OnlyFans,
Gucci flip-flops.
like right away. Like,
Wow,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
And I don't even think she's getting naked.
No, I don't think so. But
Like,
yeah,
she just-
I just
yeah.
saw a video of her the other day, and she was saying how she's with NBA YoungBoy. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but
I have no idea.
he's a rapper, NBA YoungBoy.
One of the he got 3 billion streams on Spotify last year.
He's
Really?
like
Yeah.
notorious for just like consistently putting out music. Like it might not be the best, and you might not really be able to understand what he's saying, but like he's consistently putting out music. This song Nevada is probably his most popular one that you might have heard.
He's
but-
insanely popular with the youth, but he's one of
Yeah.
those people like nobody outside of that generation has any idea who he is.
No,
Hey,
none
Ben.
at all.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like I do when we walk into the locker room
Oh boy.
and the game has just ended
There's a YoungBoy playing for sure.
and the music is so
No
loud
doubt.
and I'm thinking to myself, we got to wait till this song ends before we record because,
Oh yeah, you can't
Yeah.
put that on air.
and then there's a lot of times I look at myself in the mirror and I go, wow, man, I'm old, right? And it's like, it's too bad I'm old. But when I hear the music playing, I think, ain't so bad being old.
Well, you know what's funny about that is it's like I don't even really pay attention to the music. Obviously, you feel like I enjoy the beat of it and
Yeah,
the
sure.
feel of it, and I mean they have it. The bass is pumping in there, so it feels good. But I have no idea what they're saying.
That's
No
like
idea.
I'm
the
not paying
complete.
attention to any of the words that are being said.
That's all like the music is now, especially for like a football locker room, basketball locker room. Like, dude, some of the music is so bad, but it's just like so fast paced and it's so like the beat's good that it just like is firing you up. So I
I
guess.
have a 13-year-old boy.
Oh, I'm sure he loves
I
it.
mean,
Man,
the junk that he's listening to. He's like,
sure he's listening to YoungBoy.
He's like, this is so hot right now. I'm like, I'm really at that stage. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. No,
But-
it happens to everybody, every generation. But and this time, I got to tell you, I'm speaking only for myself. I don't mind that I don't get it.
No,
really
I don't either.
But
Yeah.
I know that people listen to Winger and make fun of me, and I get it. That it made sense to me, and I loved it, and I still love it. But I do not get it, and I'm
It's
cool
changed,
with
man.
it.
I had to
It's
try to
really
convince
cool.
my mom of like Drake back in the day, like when I was young. It's like, and that's Drake, right? But it's
Right.
just like it's ever changing. But I'm the same way. Like I've kind of relapsed out of that kind of phase, and I was all big into like the YoungBoy and all that kind of stuff, and like now I don't listen to any of that anymore. And it's like I don't know, kind of just changed. But I think that's like you said, Hawk. It's probably for the better because realistically, it's not the best. It's
Yeah.
not the best music.
right? It's not music when you're outside of the locker room environment.
Yeah,
you're
right,
like, I can't just be sitting at the crib listening to this.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, it doesn't bother me at all because, look, when I was listening to Dre and Snoop and all that stuff at that age, and I'm sure my parents like, what are you listening to?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
garbage. You know, what are they saying? I mean, and it's profanity and it is like sexually explicit and whatever. And we're, thumping it in my buddy's tempo, like 6 kids packed in an old tempo,
How
and we're
sweet
just
was that?
driving around
As
for million.
loud as it can
Oh,
be.
it's
the
like,
best.
the speakers are rattling,
Yeah,
sounds like crap.
sounds
but you don't
horrible.
It sounds horrible,
That's
right?
dope.
My parents weren't supposed to get it.
Yeah.
And so like I look
That's a good
I look
point.
at him now and I'm like, man, this is going to be what you're resonating and playing with your kids. Like he's like, oh, you listen to is like the old school stuff. I'm like, yeah, because it was the best. Like the Chronic album was the best. Right?
The best.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, Ben, because, well, first of all, change the car to a GTO and the band to Wasp. That was me.
Yeah.
Right? So I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. But isn't it interesting to think that, like, what you call it, Young NBA or whatever the hell his name was?
NBA
NBA,
YoungBoy.
Yeah, okay.
Young NBA.
Never broke. It stands for Never Broke Again.
Okay.
NBA.
So you guys, you hear the music, you know the words, some of them are filth, flare, and filth. Someday, like, that's going to be cool 108 for this generation.
I know.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Wow,
and how are you going to listen to that as a
a great
60-year-old?
point.
Right? Because, like, I hear Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue on Cool 108, and I'm like, that's a great song. And it kind of belongs because it's an old
Yeah.
song now.
Yep.
But is Young NBA, or whatever the hell the guy's name, going to be on Cool 108 someday?
Probably.
Crazy.
Yeah, he probably will.
Probably. Ben, what do you and your son listen to in the car?
Silence. They're not allowed to.
Ben just freestyles.
Like you let him play his music.
The whole time Ben's like, give me a beat, give me another beat.
No joke. Like if I'm listening to music, if I'm not listening to this station, if I'm listening to music, it'll be like XM Fly.
Okay.
It's like the throwback, hip hop stuff.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
He enjoys it because of TikTok now they sample all these songs.
Oh, yeah.
They're
good point.
They're ripping all of the beats.
Yeah,
they're
it's a
ripping
really
all
good
the
point.
songs. A snippet of one song will be in a modern song, and so like he's heard of things like, oh, I know this. He's like, this is a so and so song. Like, no. Like, this is actually originally a so and so song.
Yeah.
But when he's in charge, like he is killing me. Like all he wants to do is go to this Kendrick Lamar SZA concert that's coming up. Which I like SZA, but I don't know much about Kendrick Lamar. I just know that he's super talented.
Yeah.
But like that's what he's into. With again, Cardi Boy, Playboy
Cardi.
Playboy Cardi. Like
we
it's
talked about that. Yep.
It's that stuff that I don't know.
Playboy Cardi though is peak. The other generation wouldn't understand. Like that is he's like the father of all this new style of music right now.
Yeah,
Did you hear
his cult following is insane.
What did you call him?
Playboy Cardi.
Playboy. He was supposed to go exercise with that guy SZA, but he wouldn't go, and people were upset. And
No,
he said
SZA's a gal.
he was told he's not to run with scissors.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw in a dad joke.
The dad joke. Yeah, that was great.
You had me.
That was good.
I was like, you're actually telling a legit story.
Your
Until you
serious
didn't know SZA was a
broadcasting
woman.
voice came on.
It was.
Oh, and SZA is a woman you'd be interested in. Hawk.
Wait a minute, you're telling me that
look
a
up
woman
SZA.
calls herself Scissors? Is that right?
SZA.
You know what I mean?
Look
Is
her
that
up,
right?
Hawk.
Look at her.
What, Hawk? Yes.
1,000%.
She's thicker than a molasses and peanut butter milkshake.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Let me find this.
And her music's great.
She does.
Oh, her music is great.
I like her stuff too.
Yeah, I'm not even a big Kendrick Lamar guy, but I would go to
Look at
that.
this.
Oh my.
Look at that.
We lost it. We lost.
We lost Hawk.
You know what the good thing about dating her is? You got a place to put your drink.
Right.
A couple coasters.
Or play the bongos.
God. I don't know, man. It's cool. Getting old is tough, but it's better than the opposite.
Yeah, you are right.
True that, brother.
No Benjamin Buttons.
Hey, guys. I can see Zach. You guys can't, but he's on my screen.
Yeah, what's he doing?
He's getting ready to engineer Paul Allen's show. And he's been asleep for the last 5 minutes.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's got to get a nap, and he's got wild games late
It's
tonight.
like a sleeping bear at the zoo.
Yeah, and it makes you, you know what it makes you feel like? It makes you feel like you're doing great radio when a guy's falling asleep listening to your show.
Thanks, Zach, though.
He's on.
He'll be on with Paul Allen in a few minutes. It is the Patrick Moore Show. Hey, guys, I know you got to go, Ben, in the middle of the next segment, but I've got a list of the best Christmas movies of all time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Red One's on there.
It better be, according to Entertainment Weekly. But what I'm going to do is read you guys like the 20 and have you guys rank your top 5, each of you,
All right.
of the top 20.
Cool
Do you know what I
bit.
mean?
Good idea.
So get yourself pen and paper. We'll do that and more sports when we come back on The Fan.
Join the power trips of Meat Sauce Paul Lambert this Saturday for the grand opening of Planet Fitness's new location in Edina. Stop by from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. to check out the new location and to register for great prizes, including a free 1-year Black Card membership and KFAN swag. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
I like this T-shirt I got on. Did you guys see my T-shirt?
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's
That's a nice blouse.
Los Vikings Football Americano. It's
I like that.
Spanish Viking shirt.
Oh, I thought that was German.
There you go. I got this at NFL.com. I like it.
Oh, I can't wait for Monday in the fact that it's that Winter Warrior
I
whiteout
know.
thing. I think
It's gonna be
it's such a cool look, man.
I love that
I
look.
think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow and go get. My kids are gonna go to that game on Monday night. I might go to the Viking store and get a bunch of white.
Have you been there lately?
No.
Dude, they've got so much great stuff. I went in there before the last road trip. Did you see the coat I was wearing?
Yeah.
So it's like a coach's coat, and it has zippers on the side.
Oh yeah.
I freaking love that coat, man.
Yeah.
It's so warm, and it's so many pockets.
Because when you fart, you don't want to like hotbox yourself.
That's exactly
you
right.
do.
Yeah.
I
Gives
gotta
you the
believe that's
option.
the
It gives you the
reason,
option.
Right.
You can let it breathe, or you can keep it in.
Just
right?
huff your own scent.
And I think it's also in case you want to feel what it's like to wear a skirt.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Is
your
that
blouse.
Right.
Yeah.
I am going to the game on Monday as
No
a
one cares.
fan. No, I'm just adding to
I'm
the
just
bit.
kidding. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
I don't have. When you get to my size, you can't wear all white.
Oh, stop.
yes, you can.
I also don't
Especially
own
in the
anything.
wintertime.
You would look great
Yeah,
in
just
white.
wear a white hoodie.
Dude.
Wear a pointed white hoodie.
Man, listen, dude.
That'll be really white.
It's going to be really cold. So actually wear it over your face and put some eye holes in it.
Dude, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever. Mount Everest is covered in snow.
I'm not that fat.
I know, that's my point. You're not big anymore, dude.
Yeah.
You can wear all the way you want.
So
But
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go buy something.
the
to wear.
problem, they're so cool. But I don't know if you guys are me.
Will
Maybe
you
it's 'cause
buy me
I'm old.
one?
Of course.
Yeah, thanks.
I can wear white things one time. Because I'm definitely going to dribble something on myself.
Oh, for sure.
No,
Absolutely.
I don't trust myself with white clothes. Yeah, armpits or food or something. I need like a bib if I have white clothes on.
And Tommy, we all know what you're going to text. You don't have to do it.
Tommy's great in white clothes.
I said dribble, and I was like, yeah, there you go. Anyway, Parker.
Top 5 Christmas movies that we're going to?
That's right, baby.
I've written 4 down.
Well, we only got a minute here because Ben's got to go to
Yeah,
work.
I can't think of-
real
Oh,
quick.
wait. I thought we were going through the list.
I'm gonna I'm gonna give you the list, and you
Okay,
guys are gonna
okay,
choose.
okay.
Yeah. So this is according to Entertainment Weekly. So,
So
here we
wait,
go.
are we giving you our top
Your
5?
top 5.
Okay, all right.
Okay, understood?
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good.
This is going to turn into an argument
they
because I
have-
have a very strong opinion about
I know
one
because
of them.
and-
Your
and
opinion?
Very.
Number
about,
one-
like 4 things.
I got to
ahead.
do this because Ben's got to leave.
Yeah, I can't stop talking.
The story of your life and my Vietnam. It's a
That
wonderful life.
station no longer
Yeah,
exists.
really. It's a Wonderful Life. Number 2, A Christmas Story.
The worst film of all time.
Stop it.
Stop.
Number 3, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Number 4, Elf, which Max has never seen.
I've only seen one movie that you've named so far.
Number 5, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The cartoon.
That's my all-time.
I've never seen it.
Number 6, Love Actually. Number 7, Bad Santa. Oh my God, that movie.
Yeah.
Number 8, A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Number 9, The Year Without Santa Claus.
That's it. Yeah.
Number 10, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Number 11, Home Alone. Number 12, Trading Places. Interesting inclusion. Great movie. Number 13, Nightmare Before Christmas. 14, White Christmas. 15, Miracle on 34th Street. 16, Die Hard. 17, Scrooged. 18, Christmas Vacation. 19, The Holdovers. 20, Gremlins. 21, Christmas in Connecticut. 22, Klaus. 23, The Santa Claus. Those are your top 23 Christmas films of all time, according to Entertainment Weekly. Now, I asked each of you to give me your personal top 5. Ben, since you have to leave us.
Yes, thank you.
Please give us your top 5.
I was going to ask if I could go first
Yes,
because I got
please.
about 2 minutes. Okay. Obviously, these are very tough, right? It's really I could re-rank these tomorrow.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I would say Christmas Vacation,
Yes.
Elf,
Yep.
Family Stone, which is not even on the list.
No, family, I don't know
What's
that.
that?
Family Stone.
Great Christmas
Oh, really?
movie.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah,
Family
yeah,
Stone. Don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
And then Home Alone. Those are my top 5.
Okay. That's
Those are great. I don't know
list.
Family Stone. Does anybody know that?
I don't know
I've
that
never
one
even
either.
heard of that before.
Is that an actor that I would know, Ben?
Yeah. Let's see.
Is it about
You've got-
Sly and the Family Stone?
it's
No, you've got Craig T. Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
You have who's the gal from Sex and the City? I'm forgetting her name.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
oh,
Jessica
yeah. Okay, I'm
Parker.
looking at it. It's
Yeah.
got the girl
Yeah.
from
It's got it's got all these hits. Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Thank you.
Yep.
How do I not know this movie?
It's a great movie.
From 2005. No kidding. By the way,
Yeah,
Rachel McAdams. My goodness.
I know.
Seriously.
All right.
Yeah, so that's it. That's it.
Here's
Great
the
list.
All right.
here's the review. 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, one of the worst Christmas films of all time. So it says.
Oh, Ben.
It's
You're doing
very bizarre. It's very bizarre.
How bizarre?
The relationships that take place and the sort of swapping of girlfriends is very bizarre. It is very bizarre.
I've never heard of it.
It's got a little bit of everything. There's just something about it that my wife and I just enjoy having
Good.
on during Christmas time.
I love it. That's great,
Yeah.
man. Well, I'll put it on my list.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
sir. Ben Lieber, everybody. Ben, do we win? I guess We'll talk to you on Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you Monday.
We'll talk to you Monday, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's right, you guys. Yeah, game
That's
is
right.
on Monday, so I'll talk to you guys Monday morning before the game.
Hey, Ben,
Wow.
enjoy your Christmas weekend. And listen, man, we're grateful to have you here. Thank you, buddy.
Man, I really appreciate it.
You're always the best. We
Is this
appreciate
weekend Christmas?
it. Well, every day is Christmas this time of year. You
All
got
right,
to
you're
love
really
it.
confusing me.
Well, I apologize, but
Yeah.
In all your
Tommy says the
in all your
same thing.
gratitudes, you've confused me. But I have a great Christmas weekend as well.
in this current time of humanity, it's gratitude can be confusing.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
Bye. See you later. See ya. That's interesting. I thought I knew every Christmas movie. I've never even heard
Yeah, I
of it.
haven't either.
You know what, Parker? You go next.
Well, my first is I don't think I've ever seen Die Hard. Is it like a
I haven't either.
I've never seen it
It's
either.
one of the great arguments that happen every Christmas year. But it takes place during Christmas and at a Christmas party, so it can be considered a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
All right, that's where the confusion takes place.
Yeah, mhm.
For
that's
me,
it.
For me, my number one is Elf. It's really not close. I love Elf. I go Christmas Vacation. I love The Grinch, so I got The Grinch on there.
All time.
I love Home Alone. And then the last one, because of my love for Selena Gomez, is The Night Before Christmas. I think it's called The Night of Christmas, something like that.
Ooh, okay.
I can't remember the exact
Let me
title.
see.
I'll have to look it up. But
Night of Not the Living Dead. Christmas.
The Night Before Christmas. Yeah.
With Selena Gomez.
Yes. No, Vanessa Hudgens. I mean, when am I talking about Selena Gomez? Vanessa Hudgens. Yes.
Tommy's favorite is Christmas with the Cranks.
You know what, dude? I kid you not.
Christmas with the Cranks
That's in my
2.
top 5.
Is it really?
I love that film.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I loved the book before I loved the movie. And Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. And there's a scene where Jamie Lee Curtis has been laying in a tanning bed, and she comes out in her just her bathing suit.
Oh.
And it's like, that's what Christmas is all about.
You also love Last Holiday with Queen Latifah, right, Hawk?
How can
You
you
love
not?
that film.
I don't know.
And a Medea's Christmas.
That got an honorable
That's
mention.
actually not bad. Hawk and I did see that in the theater. It's not bad.
It's not. It's better than not bad. It's great. It made me
Hawk,
cry.
Yes, he did cry. I'm not
It's
kidding.
sad, though.
Him and I went and saw it. It was some Friday, and it was like the only thing.
Because Medea has
cried.
a hard time walking up steps and gets all sweaty, and it makes me sad.
What do you guys think of Polar Express?
Love it.
I've never seen it.
seen it.
Honorable mention as well. Hot
Okay.
chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
I like that whole thing. When Christmas comes around, and the little boy's poor and nobody likes him.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah, believing and seeing.
Yeah. I'd probably put that on my list, too. That's a good one.
It's an honorable mention, right?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Saucer.
All right. Mine are very guessable. Christmas Vacation #1. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great.
My dad loves that movie. My sister loves it's perfect. It's a perfect Christmas movie, and it's like an hour and 15. Oh, you got to see it. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long. It's not
Great.
that long. Home Alone 1. I
Phenomenal.
just love the nostalgia of it. A+. The Holiday. I love The Holiday with Jack Black. I just love that film.
I don't think I know that one either.
Oh,
I don't think I know that
The
one
Holiday's excellent. Excellent. Home Alone 2, which is the same thing as Home Alone 1.
You just love that hot babe with the pigeons.
No, would you? And then the last one, and is Rudolph the one with the Land of Misfit Toys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then that'd be my fifth.
No elf, huh?
And at dead last in Burning Hell, in Satan's Hell, I'd rather watch my family be killed in a snuff film than is Christmas Story. Christmas Story is the worst film of all time.
I know part of it's a bit.
I'd
just
rather
because-
watch you sleep with my mom on camera. I hate that
Well,
film.
hold on. Let me get. Let me forward you this film.
89 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Horrible. It's the worst film of all time, and it's not
here's the
close.
thing. Parker, here's the thing. He does that, and I don't know why, because he loves me and I love him. But this is the one thing he does because he knows it bothers me in my soul.
I mean,
I love that film.
No,
it's not my top 5, but I love it.
I've hated that. I hate that film.
But why? Does somebody?
All of it. It's the whole
Did
bit.
somebody
is
love it, and that's why
no,
you hate it?
No, no, no,
You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean, though?
No, but I would tell you.
I know.
I hate that movie.
But why?
It's depressing.
Hate's
it's
a strong word.
Depressing?
It's stupid.
Why is it depressing?
The fudge scene is dumb. Them pushing him down the stairs. You'll shoot your eye out. That
Nobody
movie
gets
is
pushed down the stairs.
Yeah, the slide bit with the Santa. It's awful. That movie is
Nobody
atrocious.
gets pushed down the stairs. Are you thinking of the
Madam
wrong film?
Web is a better movie.
Are you going to teach your son to be careful with weapons so he doesn't shoot his eye out?
I mean,
There's a
That,
lesson.
he as long as I'm around, he'll never see that trash.
There's a lesson. There's a lesson in there.
No.
I'd
rather attend family members' funerals than see that movie. That movie is
Well, after he attends your funeral, he can watch A Christmas Story.
awful. That movie is. I'd rather have my old teeth than see. I hate that film.
Well, somebody's got them.
Oh, my mother-in-law is texting me.
Well, it's because she knows you're wrong.
Oh, no, she just likes the holiday.
Yeah, Abby.
The holiday whales. Hawk, what are yours? And sorry, I just trashed one of
I'm
them
going to let
on
Max go next. Go ahead.
Honestly, I couldn't even name 5 Christmas movies.
North Pole 35.
You were born on Christmas
I was born
Day.
on Christmas Day, just like you, but I don't know why. I never got into The Grinch. Is my favorite one. Me and my daughter watch it every year. Friday After Next, if you can consider that a Christmas movie, if you've ever seen it.
Yep.
Bad Santa was pretty good, but otherwise, I'm going on this list. I haven't seen Home Alone since I was like 5 years old. Never seen Christmas Vacation. Never seen Christmas Story. Never seen Miracle on 34th Street. Elf. Never seen it. Never seen Gremlins. Never seen Edward Scissorhands, Scrooged, The Santa Claus, Trading Places, Polar Express. I've never seen almost any of these movies. So I've been trying to get more in the holiday season this year. So maybe I just have to have a Christmas movie marathon from now until Christmas Day.
Even
because
the Frosty the Snowman's good.
Oh, Frosty's great. Yeah. And Rudolph. Those are classics.
Those are great. Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many that I.
Hawk's
that I
going to have a
haven't
list
seen.
of 1,000.
Yeah, for me, honestly, narrowing it down to just 5 is very, very hard because there's so many that I love. But
What's your favorite?
It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm
It's a Wonderful Life is number 1 for me, and it has to be on network television with the commercials in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
Yeah.
that
They
isn't
show
that
it on
Tommy's
about that.
favorite.
I think so. They show it on Christmas Eve on NBC. They have for years. They've owned the rights to it. It's the only time all year that I watch the film is Christmas Eve. We watch it as a family. It's the best because it's a great story.
Is it black and white?
It's black and white.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Jimmy Stewart, and it's one of the prettiest girls who ever lived, the lady who plays his wife. It's just a great story. And I've got so many theories on it. But
I've never
it's a
seen
great,
it.
great film.
That's like one of your favorite movies in general.
Yeah. And he had just gotten back from World War II. And you might not know this, but Jimmy Stewart was literally a fighter pilot in World War II.
Wow.
He didn't just go there. He really went there and fought.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
And it was tough. This was his first film when he got back from being in the war. And it was hard for him. It's a great film. I encourage you to watch it. It's a Wonderful Life's number 1. There's, like I said, there's a million films that I love, but I threw in a couple here that I don't think everybody's that familiar with. Christmas with the Cranks is great. It's Tim Allen, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis. And I told you about the tanning bed scene, but in all seriousness, it's about your kids growing up and being an empty nester and what you're going to do with your life after that.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, I've never seen that
That's
either.
really good. I really enjoyed it. The Santa Claus with Tim Allen as well. The first one, I mean, that is
a
right,
good
Garrett?
film.
That is Christmas to
That's
me.
a good film.
That film is
Yeah.
Christmas to me. It's the most Christmassy of Christmas films because they don't distort the magic of it.
That's a good film, yeah.
I just love it. I love it. You can let a little tiny kid watch it and they will have no problems with their belief in Christmas, if you know what I mean. Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Never seen it.
Now, here's the reason I'm surprised you've never seen it, and the reason I would encourage you to watch it. Because it seems to me that they wrote a script, handed it to Bill Murray, and he went, yeah, that's a good idea, and then set it aside and just did what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't even think, they should have just named the character Bill Murray, because it's just him being him. But it's based on Scrooge,
Yeah.
right? So he's visited by the 3
Christmas
ghosts.
Carol, right?
Yeah, Christmas Carol, right?
Yeah.
And he's so brilliant, and Bobcat Goldthwait is in it.
He's actually here in studio.
That's an actual line from the film.
That's Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, well, it's the same person. I would encourage you to watch Scrooge. You, in particular, should watch. You love Bill Murray.
I do. I've never seen it.
And how can you not love It's a Christmas Vacation? I mean, I think all
So
of us
good.
in here can quote lines from that. Parker, do you know that film?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, bend over and I'll show you.
One of the best.
The
Yeah.
Kids look at deer.
Esser's full.
Yeah.
1,000 lights.
Yeah.
The whole deal.
The scene where and the
The tree lights on fire and the guy's hair is on
You
fire.
surprised,
Yeah.
Clark? I wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the
there's so
carpet.
many clever things about those movies, and that scene you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
a perfect example.
Perfect.
Because he's going through and the lights finally come on, and then suddenly he's got his arm around Cousin Eddie,
Yeah.
and
Everybody has a cousin Eddie.
yeah, and Eddie hadn't been in the film at all until that moment.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's
and he
brilliant.
just shows up, and that's brilliant. I don't know, Margot.
So good.
That scene's great.
Oh, all of it.
Where
That's where that's from.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where he's sitting in the attic and he's having that emotional
and you
moment watching,
heave.
and you're heaving, and then suddenly out of nowhere he falls through the
Yeah, it's
ceiling.
such old it's such
It's
an
just-
old comedy bit.
It's Abbott and Costello.
Yes,
That's
correct.
exactly what it is.
100%.
Slapstick.
It's slapstick. It's so good.
There's it's a sweet moment. Like
Oh.
it's a great scene. My dad cries to it every time when we've seen the movie 10,000 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great bit.
A listener, Jingle All the Way. That's one that I've seen.
I've never seen
loved that movie as a kid. I loved me some Sinbad. That's the one with Sinbad, right?
That is.
Yeah,
That's
I've
a
never
great
seen
That was
it.
a great
Isn't he
movie.
the bad guy?
Sort of, if there's a bad guy.
Is Sinbad still with us?
I think, yeah. I think so.
I think he had some health problems, but I think he
I
made
think he
it.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
It was
never
real
seen
close. Now that I think
Jingle
about
All
it,
the Way.
I think he's with us, but I don't know that he performs anymore.
Isn't Dave Ryan in it?
Tom
His voice?
Bernard. I don't know if Dave Ryan is. I know that the radio scenes are at KQ, but not really. But that's what they use. They use KQ as the radio station.
I think Dave Ryan is. Doesn't he get like a 30-cent check every year or something like that?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And then, even though you hate it, I still don't know why. A Christmas Story is just that. I love it. I love the fact that is it TBS or TNT? Which one?
TNT.
It shows it for 24 hours on Christmas.
Hideous.
And anytime you tune in, you know what's going on.
Hideous.
I love that film. I don't know why you don't like that film.
I hate it. I hate
can't
every
stand
second of it.
I can't stand it.
No, it will not be watched at my house. And you know who else? The only other person who has the same
If your
hatred I
wife
have
called
for.
you right now and said we're watching a marathon of it, you'd watch
You'd
it.
watch it.
Well, with her,
You have to.
But my
Butt reeks.
my butt reeks. My accountant's. Let me start over.
Does this
here.
matter what you're about to say?
My Aunt Jan, who is
worth it.
hockey's. I'm trying to get my shoes back on.
Why? We're doing radio.
Well, it's almost time to go
But
home.
you can wait 30 seconds until the show's over. My God, is your
doesn't
car
matter. No, I just wanted to put my shoes back on.
Your
My aunt
accountant.
hates it too. That doesn't matter. Yeah, my accountant, who's Hawk's accountant, his wife, my aunt, my mom's sister, she hates that movie. It's like the only thing. It's the only time. It's the
Are
only
you
thing we ever
reporting
talk
on our
about.
entire list?
I
or
don't know
just
what
that?
I'm doing. I'm sorry, I derailed there, but that movie sucks.
You were putting your shoes on. Like you have to run out the
No,
door.
I don't have to run out. But
Where are you gonna be? What are you gonna do today?
I got nothing to do, but I just wanted to put my shoes back on because I thought it was weird that I didn't have my shoes on for like 2 hours.
Were your feet a little cold?
Yeah,
It's cold in
It's
here.
cold, and look at the windows.
Yeah, it's a lot
You
of
guys ever take
frost.
off your shoes and out of nowhere your feet smell like
Oh yeah.
dad?
Oh yeah.
all the
What did I
time.
do?
Should go into our locker room.
Oh,
my God. Oh.
that
We're
makes
gonna get a
sense.
text from Tommy.
Yeah. Can't wait.
I volunteer.
Hey, Park, you think I can get in the locker room?
Oh yeah.
Think I could have some old sneaks?
Yeah, Tommy, for sure.
Parker, you are a wonder.
Oh, you're a wonder.
We love you.
Oh, I love you.
And I wish that I could just say to you right now, you're going to be a permanent part of the Power Trip Morning Show when your career's over. Because I love you, man.
Oh,
You're a good dude.
that's kind. You're so kind.
You're going to do good things with your life.
Oh, thank you.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually when you stop playing basketball.
I'll get on eventually. I have so many just funny tweets, and then not Barstool, Bleacher Report posted a video of me, and it was like 26-year-old Parker Fox still could dunk, and I had so many people just tagging me and just be like, "Get a job, bro," and this and that. I'm like,
Have you seen this bit where they compare you to Trey Young?
I have.
In 2016, he was in high school. You were in high school. In 2017, you were at Northern State University. He was at Oklahoma. In 2018, through now, he's been with the Hawks.
Yeah, in the NBA.
And it says in 2025 for Parker, at this point, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I actually played Trae Young in AAU when I was 16, and him and Michael Porter Jr. they killed us. So
No kidding.
Yeah, they were a good team. But yeah, Trae Young's been in the league for what, like 8 years now, and I've been
You know what?
At least you got your PhD, right?
Next
Yeah,
year,
that's
you might
true.
be teammates, brother. You
Yeah,
never know,
there you
right?
go, brother.
Parker's going to the NBA, brother. All right, Parker, we love you. Thank you. We'll
Love you
see you
guys.
next week.
Yes, yeah, you'll see me next week. No doubt about it.
Max, you're the best. Love you, brother.
Appreciate you. Love you too, Hogs Daddy. Love you, Parker. Love you, Saucy.
Saucy,
you.
Tomorrow we got the initials.
Yep.
And Zach goes running the initials.
Yep.
And we have a
that's fun.
special guest.
We do, and we have no Creasel tomorrow
is
because
that
he's
right?
at Army Navy.
Oh, that's right. So we got the last week of the Charts Challenge, too, so
Yeah.
we'll have to call in.
Yep.
But by the
And
way,
Perry.
a very special guest playing the initials tomorrow as well. And Zach goes running the whole thing. So, but we got to go. More on that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I say it all the time. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Take care of each other, but you got to take care of yourself first. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Derek. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye.
Everybody have a wonderful day.
You too, Ab. I love you.